Hello future investors, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a quick review. I'm going to be showing you how to set up your automatic investing. And lastly, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of how to go ahead and value a stock. Now, if you are new to investing and this kind of stuff suits your fancy, then I would highly advise you to go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel in order to get these videos of how to help you with your investing journey. The whole intention of this channel is to help you invest more in order for you to be able to work less. My name is Tim. Welcome to Push Investments. So to get the video started off today, we're going to do a quick portfolio review of how we did over the past week. Now, as you can see here, the portfolio is sitting exactly where we left off. Remember, we initially started this portfolio with a $65 value. And I did go ahead and show you how to use that money in order to purchase stocks for the portfolio. We ended off with a $15 balance right here because we spent the rest on acquiring stocks. I'm going to go over the stocks in just a second. To get started off, I'm going to show you how we did for the week. So if you go down here, you're going to see one day, which is today. The stock market is currently closed. So that's why here says 0. However, if we go to the 1 week outlook, we could see that over the past week, which is a full week since we began this investing journey, we're down 45 cents. Or most importantly, what you want to always focus on is going to be the ROI percentage, which is your return on investment. And as you can see here, our return for the past week is less than 1%. It's going to be 0.69 to be exact. Now, what do we have to compare ourselves to? How do we know if our portfolio is doing good, is doing bad, or just not moving? Well, the majority of investors usually compare their portfolios to an ETF known as the SPY ETF, and that ticker is SPY. It's better known as the Spider ETF. So for those of you that do not know, the Spider ETF does contain 500 of America's best companies. These come together in order to form the S&P 500. So that is the benchmark that most investors use to compare their portfolio. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to the 1 week mark to see how the Spider ETF did compared to our portfolio. As you can see here, the Spider ETF is down 0.6%. Now, this is exactly the same as our portfolio. Our portfolio is down 0.69. So we are not doing too bad. Now, that's exactly how you want your portfolio to be. You want your portfolio to be just slight movements, gradual movements over time. And as you can see, as time goes by, your portfolio is going to have an uptrend trajectory, that I promise you. So we are not doing too bad compared to the Spider ETF. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and go over to the month because before I started using this portfolio in order to do this YouTube channel, I did have some dividend stocks just sitting there. So it's not fair to use the month quite yet. At the end of December, we're going to go ahead to the month to see how we actually doing. Now, let's go ahead to the stocks that we purchased, and I'm going to show you how to actually look at your stocks. So where it says stocks right here, if you hover over, you're going to see these 3 buttons right here. We're going to go ahead, we're going to click into it, and it gives you different parameters right here. So let's start off with the first one, which is going to be the last price. Once you select that, it tells you what is the last price that the stock has been trading at. And once you know your portfolio, which you're going to know after you keep doing it over and over, you're going to know whether the price is at a reasonable price, a fair price, or high price. So right now, I could tell you that for this stock, which is New Holdings, is trading at a very high price because I personally do not want to pick up this stock at any price above $15. However, that's going to change. I'm going to show you how to invest on a regular basis. So this does not matter. This only matters when you want to add additional money into the portfolio. Now, if you go down to the next one, which is going to be Meta here, which stands for Meta Platforms, the current share price is $642.76. Now, in your mind, you're going to be saying, whoa, that's pretty expensive. But once again, once you get to your portfolio, you're going to know this is a very cheap price right here. So this is one stock that you want to add more to your portfolio. Let's go ahead back to the icons to the top. And now we're going to go to your equity. Your equity just tells you the total amount that you have invested in the stock. Now, I did show you the 2 videos before that when we went ahead and purchased all these stocks, and all these stocks have the same amount that's been allocated to it, which is going to be $5. This portfolio is what's going to be known as a equal weighted portfolio, meaning every single stock has the exact same amount that's been allocated towards it. Now, over time, what's going to happen, some of these stocks here is going to overperform and some of these stocks are going to underperform. So the values here is going to go up. So Just as an example, this here might go up to $10. Just for us not doing anything, the value is just going to go up to $10. And let's say this stock here might go down to $3. That's just how the stock market works. The stock market usually fluctuates, it goes up and down. So when that happens, all you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and what's known as rebalance the portfolio. But as the channel goes along, I will show you how to do all these things as well. Let's go back to the icons now, and we're going to go to today's return. Okay, so here is today's return. The day return just tells you what a stock has been doing on a particular day, and you could look at this every day. However, as an investor, you don't want to focus yourself too much on the daily happenings of the stock market. As an investor, you need to have a long-term insight, so to speak. So you need to be focused on the long term, not just what's happening right here. The only way I'm going to use this information is if there's a severe drop, and I'm going to show you that in a second. Let's go lastly, and we're going to choose the last one, which is going to be a total return. This one I usually pay close attention to because I want to, the amount of time I actually hold these stocks in my portfolio, I want to see exactly how they're doing. So over time, the time we had this portfolio, this is how it's been doing. Now, okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to go back to today's return. I'm going to show you how to set up automatic indicators in order for you to know whether the stock is trading at a price that you want to buy or not. So let's go ahead and use Meta for that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up Meta right here. So here we are on Meta platform. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this little bell icon right here. We're going to click on that and we're going to open that up. What that does is that gives us alerts right here that we can set up. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through an alert that can set up. So let's go to add alert right here. And this one is a price alert. What I usually like to do, I like to use the one in the bottom, which says price moves below a certain point. Let's go ahead. We're going to select that. Then you're going to want to put in the certain point right now. Ideally, what you want is that the figure you put in here should be lower than the current share price. So for instance, Meta is trading right now at 642.76 cents. And I want to know, and I think that a fair price is to pick up Meta at 640 and below. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 640 right here and I'm going to hit save. So you can see it right here. So what's going to happen now? Whenever Meta decides to fall below $640, I'm going to get alert to my phone. Now, the most important thing for this to work, of course, you need to have your alert set up on your phone. You need to have your alerts on. So that is the price alert. Now, another alert you could set up is what's known as the indicator alert right here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give you a walkthrough of that one. With the indicator alert, let's go ahead. We're going to add alert right here. And these are all the different indicators right here. The one I'm going to be using now for today, we're going to be using the MA200, or rather the 200-day moving average. And what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be looking for the price to drop below. The reason why I look for the price to drop below in the first example and the second example is I like to buy good quality stocks at a reduced price. So I'm going to look for when the price drops below the MA or the moving average. And then you could go ahead and put the length interval right here. Me personally, I like to put 1 hour. So if the share price does drop and stays below the 200-day moving average for an hour, then that's going to give me an indication that now is a good time to go ahead and get into the stock. You go ahead, you hit save, and then that's your second alert setup. So now you have two alerts set up, which is going to be your price alert and also your indicator alert. Now keep in mind, you don't need to use both of these alerts. Just always feel free to use whichever one works more for your portfolio. Okay, so lastly, what we're going to do, we're going to go and put our investing on automatic or autopilot. Now for that, let's go ahead to account right here. We're going to go into recurring. We're going to go to stocks right here. And as you can see, I have no recurring investments. So what recurring investment does that it allows you to contribute a certain amount of money over a definitive time period. So for instance, let's say you want to contribute $20 every single month to the same stock. This is going to allow you to do that. And it's going to do that whether the share price is going up or the share price is going down. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to create recurring investment. And let's go ahead. We're going to do this. Let's use Pepsi for the start. Let's go to Pepsi. We're going to select that. Now, as you can see here, the stock ticker is going to be to the top. Now, the amount that we want to invest on a regular, let's just use an example. Let's say I want to contribute $25 every single time. Now, what I need to do, I need to have a start date. When do I want to initiate this first recurring investment? Let's go ahead. We're going to change this. Let's start, let's say December 2026. Next, I want to put in the frequency. How often do I want to buy $25 worth of Pepsi? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up this. So it does tell you here whether you want to do every market day, every week, every 2 weeks, etc. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do every month. And I did promise you guys that I'm going to be putting $250 every single month in this portfolio. So that's why I'm going to be using a monthly frequency. Now, the payment, the money that you're going to be putting towards this stock, where's that money going to be coming from? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click this. So you have two choices. You could either, the money could be coming from your buying power, or it could be coming from an external account. So what I'm going to do, I like to use my buying power for this. I don't like Robinhood to pull money directly from my check-ins or my savings account. Now you need to have a backup. You don't actually need to have a backup. So you could go ahead and decide. So I have no backup because all the money usually comes from my portfolio value, from my buying power. So you're going to go ahead, you're going to hit review, and then you could go ahead and submit if everything pans out. So that's how you go ahead and set up your recurring investment. Now, your recurring investment is one of the most powerful things you could do in your investing journey. This is also known as DCA or dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is a very, very powerful investment tool that any single one could use in order to become wealthy over time. This absolutely takes out every single part of the guesswork out of investing. You go ahead, you work your regular 9 to 5, and then you make regular transfers to your account portfolio. You don't need to purchase any stock because you have everything set up on autopilot. Whenever the time comes, whenever your frequency you selected comes, every 2 weeks or every month, then it's going to automatically go ahead and pull out the amount of money that you set it to, and it's going to go ahead and purchase that stock. Now, this DCE model, a dollar cost average model, does not really concern itself with the current share price. It's just going to go ahead and keep buying that stock at that amount of price anytime the frequency hits. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to value a stock. So let me just give you a brief introduction of what I do in order to value a stock. And let's go ahead and use Meta right here. So now with Meta open, what we're going to do, I'm going to go to this triangle right here, which is going to be the advanced chart right here. Now we're going to go ahead and you can select your time period to the top. Let's use the 1 year, for instance. So what I like to do in order to value a stock really quickly, I like to follow this blue line right here. See this blue line? It extends throughout the graph. This blue line is known as your MA200. You can see it to the top here. And we also just set up an alert with it, or your 200-day moving average. What the 200-day moving average tells you is that it gives you the actual price that the stock has been trading at for the last 200 days, or an average of 6 months. So this is a factual indicator right here. There's no guesswork. This is what the share price has been trading for the last 200 days or 6 months. So if you go to the end of the line, you could see that Meta has been trading at $617 per share over the last 6 months. However, currently the share price is at 642.76, which is going to be below your 200-day moving average. So right off the bat, this tells me that right now Meta is a bit undervalued because it's trading below its average, the price that's been trading over for the last 6 months. Now, another indicator I like to use to see if a stock is overvalued is going to be the RSI down here. Now, don't worry about this. I will go into this in detail. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. So if you want to go ahead and start doing your own research, you could go ahead and do that. So down here, you're going to see the RSI, or what's known as the Relative Strength Index. And what this is a momentum indicator. What it does is that it actually tells us whether a stock is overbought or oversold. Now, if I were to go right here, this is actually the middle of the RSI, and the middle of the RSI is going to be 50. The RSI goes from 0 to the bottom here, all the way up to 100 to the top here. But what most of us investors are concerned with is the RSI between 30 and 70. Now, anytime the RSI goes down below your 50, which is your even mark, if it goes down towards the 30, that tells us that the stock is going into oversold territory. And vice versa to that, whenever your RSI moves from the 50 and it keeps going up towards the 70 mark, it tells us that that price is going into overbought territory. So there you have it, investors. This is just a brief outlay of what you want to go ahead and do with your portfolio. So for today's video, we did a quick portfolio review. We went ahead and I showcased the DCA, which is the dollar cost average model, which almost every investor should be using in their portfolio. which allows you to go ahead and grow your portfolio by buying a certain amount on a certain frequency in order to grow your portfolio over time. And lastly, I give you a brief introduction of how to see if a stock is undervalued based on just two indicators, which is going to be the 200-day moving average and the RSI, which is your relative strength index. Now, if you guys have not already, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Our next video, I'm going to be getting into detail of how you could go ahead and value a stock. And lastly, if you guys have any questions about how to begin investing, which stocks should you be adding to your portfolio, or even how to find these stocks in such an open wide market where we have so much information available, then let me know. I'm going to go ahead and try to add a link in the description below of some actual brokerage platforms that you can be used. It's going to be my referral links. So if you want to help out the channel, feel free to go ahead and use those referral links in the bottom. Now I will catch you on the next video.